Depending on your political preferences, views on election integrity widely differ. According to an Associated Press poll, 22% of Republicans trust votes will be tallied accurately in the 2024 presidential election, compared to 71% of Democrats. The skepticism within the Republican Party largely stems from election fraud claims that plagued the 2020 election. Now headlines with words like voting machines malfunction, voting machine glitch flipped votes, issue at voting machines, and counties face ballot marking machine issues. Headlines like these on the day of an election add to the distrust in America's democracy. We want to offer some clarity on some of those issues from this week's election, from suspicious summaries of votes flipping to a touchscreen that would change from one straight party ticket to a straight party ticket for the opposing party. These were issues seen in some Pennsylvania and Kentucky counties. In Northampton County, Pennsylvania, with a population of over 300,000, voters were asked to decide whether two judges should be retained for additional 10-year terms. When voters received their printed voting summary, the yes or no votes were switched. Election officials learned it was an issue on all 300-plus voting systems in the county. Election officials say it was a clerical and coding error, and even though printed voting records showed a switch in votes, the voting machine's back-end system tabulated the votes accurately. The officials also said the problem was confined to the judges' races. Meanwhile, in Kentucky, with a governor's race on the line, voting machines in some counties were selecting the wrong options on touchscreens. When a voter went to select a straight party vote, election officials say sometimes it would highlight the wrong party. Here is a local news report covering the issue.
We received calls all afternoon from voters who had concerns about the electronic voting machines they used. They say they tapped on the screen to vote for one party, but it showed they actually voted for the other.
Yes, we've had issues. This is not the way an election is supposed to be conducted. That all sounds horrible, and it is, but that's not the voting. That's a ballot marking device.
Apparently, the issue was a persistent one, starting days before during early voting. That's according to the election official. So these flyers were hung at polling locations, alerting a voter to select their candidate by clicking their name rather than the tiny box, because the touchscreen was more efficient at reading a voter's selections that way. The county clerk also said it was an issue that did not impact the election results. The issues were on a ballot marking system. A voter marks their choices electronically, then the machine prints a ballot that a voter then reviews and submits through a scanner, and that casts the vote. 23 counties in Kentucky use the same ballot counting machines, though it's unclear how many experienced the same issues. County officials face much pressure ahead of an election. There is no evidence given in these cases that show malicious intent behind the errors. Hiccups, glitches, and issues reported were minimal compared to the thousands of local counties holding elections.